Hello everybody, Dominic here from the Bournemouth Writing Festival. The deadline for our writing competition with Bournemouth University's Bournemouth Writing Prize is fast approaching, so make sure you get your short stories and poems in on time. We are delighted that Madeline Milburn from the Madeline Milburn Literary Agency and Abu Ibrahim will be judging our entries and choosing the winners. And every year through the festival, we support and promote a local writing charity. In the first year, we supported Vita Nova. In the second year, we supported the Outsiders Project. And this year, we are supporting and promoting Dorset-based children's charity, the Storyworks. Now, when you submit your entry, there's an option to add a donation. So if you do have a little bit of extra money which you feel that you can give to these to the Storyworks, then please do add on a little donation, and 100% of those of that money will go to the charity. We've raised about £1,000 so far for our charity, so thank you, really thank you to everybody who has not only entered the competition but has donated to the charity as well. So not only is it monetary, but we also support the charities and get them involved in the festival. And I'm going to speak about that in a little bit later. So today I am absolutely delighted that the founder of the Storyworks, Dee Hughes, is joining me today. So hello, Dee.
Pleasure. I'm glad to be here.
So tell us a little bit about the Storyworks and why you founded it.
Okay, yeah, I founded Storyworks 4 years ago. I'm a full-time lecturer at Bournemouth University. And I'd always wanted to do it because one of my favorite writers is Dave Eggers, who started 826 Valencia in San Francisco in 2002 or 2004. And these writing workshops that he created, I'd always loved them. But I was also spent time in my children's school, and I'd seen how I didn't think that children were being given the creative space to be creative. There were too many restrictions on them. So the idea of the Storyworks is twofold. First, to bring children onto a university campus who might not get to visit a university campus to experience it. And the other thing is to give them a safe creative space to be creative in the way they wish to be creative. So they don't get held back by grammar, punctuation, things like that, which are holding them back at school. So we are not tied to the national curriculum. And it's almost like a form of free writing, really. But where we're unique is that we have two communities of practice. One is the children who come onto the workshop, but our volunteers are all university students, and that's another community. So we empower them to create workshops, run workshops, and interact with these school children.
That's wonderful, brilliant. I didn't realize about the university students getting involved. So that's, you know, really kind of 360. Helping and volunteering is brilliant. So tell us a little bit about what happens at these workshops.
So a school will come to us and they'll be introduced to. They'll come into the room and they'll meet the students who introduce themselves, and it'll be explained to them what's going to happen over the next hour and a half or 2 hours, I forget how long it is, exactly what's going to happen so they feel comfortable. We take their photo because at the end of the day, they will take away their own little book that they've written as the author, which will be put onto that. And it's in two parts. So the first part is a group workshop activity. Then they have a break for lunch, which is where they then go and have lunch with other university students in this big building at Bournemouth called Fusion, and we encourage them to mix and talk to the students, which they absolutely love to do. And in the end, they're running around like mad talking to these students. Then the second half of the session, they will come back and they will write on their own with the assistance of the volunteers. And then they get the opportunity towards the end of the session to read out to the room what it is they've written. And then they'll go home and then we will send them in the post their printed booklet. And all the illustrations are done by our illustration volunteers who are illustrators at AUB. So the quality of the illustrations is phenomenal. It's just amazing.
Oh, wow. So they go home or they end up with a book of their writing with almost professional illustrations. That's amazing. And it's completely free.
Yes, yes, that was one of my intention. It had to be free. And so the model we have created by basing it on the university campus, because other organizations like this do exist, like in London, you have the Ministry of Stories, in Dublin, you have Fighting Words. But by basing on the university campus, we can use those university resources to keep it free.
And how can children get involved in this? So if people are watching this and they've got children, right, that sounds fantastic. Is it through the school, or is there an application process?
Yeah, so we do have a website. So if a parent wanted to email us and say, I'd like to my children to do this, we would do it through the school. So they could tell us what school that they're at, then we could follow that up with that school. Otherwise, teachers just contact us. We do reach out to schools regularly to recruit schools for workshops. So, you know, we have somebody from the charity who goes in and does readings of the stories, because we've actually started publishing books now, children's books. And Tom, who's our amazing volunteer, who goes in and does readings, it's a way of publicizing us and the books. So yeah, so the website, or that's probably the easiest way to reach out to us.
That's brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. And what a wonderful thing for children to be able to experience. So have you got one or two little stories you can talk about, you know, obviously not naming names, but some of the children that have taken part and you've seen a huge difference in them?
Yeah, so when the schools come to us, we often actually request that the schools bring the children who are struggling with English the most, because what the workshops are about building confidence, and so that they feel that they're heard as well. So when those children come in, often, and no names mentioned, teachers point out children and say, well, you might struggle there, or you might do this, that child's like this, and we're okay, we take note. Never happens. And then we often get teachers at the end, that teacher will come up to us at the end and apologize for putting that child in a box, so to speak, and they shouldn't have, and they've seen this child in a whole new light because of the conditions that we create in this environment. So that for me is my greatest takeaway from this. We've never had a problem with a child who's come to us. No, there's no behavioral issues, because they're doing something that we are supporting in every way possible, and they're being listened to. You know, even if they're making mistakes, they're being listened to, and and what we do is, when they come in the room, the one thing we tell them is, today you cannot be wrong. Everything you do today is right. And it's just puts them in this mindset. And so yeah, so that's, if I had to give one message, story about, that's what I would like to convey.
And I think you hit the nail on the head right at the beginning about it's not linked to the national curriculum, because that can be so constrictive.
Yeah.
And it's quite worrying, you know, for children, because have I got it right? Have I said it right? And to be able to free write, I think it's so important. So my last question for you, Dee, is, what do you get out of this? Like, how, you know, obviously you've talked a lot about the children and the volunteers, but you know, what fulfills you about this project?
Right, that's a really good question, actually. I'm not sure many people have asked me that before. I enjoy working with young people. I mean, I'm an educator by trade, so to speak. Generally, obviously, university student age, but I used to spend a lot of time in my children's junior school when they were at junior school, because I was a governor and things like that. So I involved myself. But for me, it's about building a community, and I really believe in community. And I think we have started to build this community, and it's growing every year. So I think that's what I get out of it, seeing people meet who wouldn't otherwise meet. And they do that through writing and stories. And I think that's just incredibly powerful.
Oh, that's lovely. And I'm so glad that the Writing Festival is giving you support and promotion, but also opportunities to the children who may come and perform at the Born Jammy event, at the event in April next year. So thank you so much, Dee. Let us know what the website is.
The website is www.thestoryworks.org. Please contact us there.
Excellent. Thank you so much for joining me today, Dee.
It's been a real pleasure. Thanks, Dominic.
And for everybody else, if you are thinking about entering the writing competition, there's not long to go. It ends on the 15th of August. It's £10 an entry, £10 for a short story, or £10 for up to 3 poems. And there's up to £3,000 in cash, which you could win. You get published in Dorset magazine, come to the festival with free tickets, and get to perform with the live band at Born Jammy. So it's a really exciting competition. Please do get involved. It's the 10th anniversary of the Bournemouth Writing Prize, which I forgot to mention. So we're making a big deal of it this year. And when you do submit, please do, if you do have a little bit of money to give, please do donate to the Storyworks. As you've heard, it's a fantastic charity. So good luck. I'm crossing my fingers if you are entering. Thank you so much, and speak to you soon.